Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Daily Magic. My name is SlytherinKnight, and I'm so happy you could join me. So today's daily is to cast 20 white or blue. Really, we're just going to be focusing on the white of that, just kind of using that as a guideline. I didn't really feel like switching it up to try to get something else. And because the deck we're going to be doing today is a 3-color deck, a white, black, green, or also known as Abzan Counters deck. The centerpiece of this card is Felothar, Dawn of the Abzan. Whenever Felothar enters or attacks, you may sacrifice a non-land permanent. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Absolutely fantastic. So, to try and kind of help that along, we have a few different ways of making tokens, that being Dollmaker's shop. Elspeth, Stormslaver, her +1 ability creates 2 tokens because of her intrinsic ability. Very good. We also do have just 2 copies of Warden of the Grove, a card that I'm actually kind of excited to use because I really like Hydras, but I've never really been able to make a deck. Like I'd love to make a Hydra tribal deck, but I don't think there's enough cards in standard to make one that's actually good. But this one's kind of cool. It does take a moment to really start creating tokens, but as you can see at the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. But yeah, that's a counter at the end of every turn. Anyway, whenever another non-token creature you control enters, it endures X, where X is the number of counters on this creature. And when you endure, you can either put counters on the creature or you can create creature tokens. So kind of the way I kind of look at it, if you have a lot of tokens already that you can use for sacrificial fodder for Felothar, just make the creature stronger. Anyway, a way to try to get our creatures out, some of our more expensive stuff out a lot easier is Collector's Cage. Hideaway 5, when this permanent enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library, exile 1 face down, then put the rest on the bottom in a random order, and then to actually get it to be able to cast that, pay 1, tap this card, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Now what we're going to be probably trying to focus on would be our Planeswalker. It would probably be our Planeswalker is the main thing we're going to be focusing on. There's no bad choice really, so it is what it is. But yeah, do these count as artifact? They do, right? I forget the toys created by Dollmaker's shop do count as artifacts, so that is what's triggering Teething Wurmlet constantly, which is very nice. Nesting Bot is just a good card. 2 creatures for the price of 1, and it's also sacrificial fodder for Felothar if you need it. Everything else has something to do with counters, except for Sentinel of the Nameless City. But it is a vigilance creature that creates map tokens when it enters or attacks, so that's not bad. It allows stuff like if we have some leftover mana, we can make something explore to maybe get a counter or to get some land. So that's the general idea. Botanical Brawler is definitely a good one to try to have on the field as quickly as possible, because whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on another permanent you control, if it's the first time +1/+1 counters have been put on that permanent this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So it just gets stronger as your other stuff gets stronger. So just another good one to have. Anyway, not a whole lot of black in this deck, really, just with what was it again? Yeah, really just with Maelstrom Pulse and Felothar. That's really the only black in this deck, but still counts. Still counts. Anyway, let's give it a shot. I haven't actually used the deck. I do like testing decks out, like for the first time with you guys, because it's interesting, to see how it runs. Just be aware that I will probably make mistakes. I think we'll keep this. It has potential. not the biggest fan of this opening, but gotta start somewhere. I'm guessing our opponent is running a Jeskai, something to do with Jeskai, so that's not great for me, I wouldn't think. Yeah, definitely Jeskai. Though they're playing a bit slow, which is interesting. Yeah, they're playing just a little bit slow. Okay. They got their Thunderclap. That's not great. Yeah, pulling the torch the tower. Not great, because they'll probably use that on my brawler. I would hope they would use it on the brawler. If not, then that's fantastic. Kind of surprised they haven't. Yeah, there you go. I was going to say, that's something you want to get rid of. You don't want me to really start setting up with that. Are they running counters? They are. That's... would not have expected them running counters. If I can get my Elspeth out, that wouldn't be bad. Okay, and we don't get to see what the card was. That's fair. Or actually, what is this? Yeah, I'd rather get rid of this. Force them to maybe use another counter. Or what, are they going to send it back to hand? Huh, alright. I mean, sure, that doesn't... Yeah, I don't get another token, but that's okay. And they went with Jeskai Revelation. That's not good. All they need is one more to be able to cast it. I think we're going to go ahead and do this. Go ahead with... If they counter it, they counter it. Kind of hope they don't, but... We're going to go ahead. I'm going to buff my creatures. I still get the trigger. Yeah, still get the trigger there. And now they can play their spell. which is going to do a lot of different stuff. Yeah, a lot of different stuff. So, another Dollmaker shop? I don't really think I need that. They do have prowess, okay. I guess, would you consider this a Jeskai control? I would, just because it's a lot slower than I was anticipating. And they had another one. Alright. Nice. Probably just going to concede here. Huh. All I need is one more spell and then I can't do anything. Yep, there you go. Oh yeah, no. That was definitely a good game. Okay, go ahead. Jeskai control. It works for a reason. I'll do one more match, even if I end up going overtime, so we'll do one more match. Yeah, even if we end up going overtime. But that was kind of cool. The only Jeskai I've seen is the one I put together. That's more of a prowess deck. You know, hit them hard, hit them fast. But yeah, control makes a lot more sense, since 2 of the 3 colors are white and blue. But yeah, it's not bad, not bad at all. All right, let's see. Oh, this isn't terrible. Yeah, I like this. Hello to you as well. You're going to use that now? That's kind of... Oh, it's this deck. That's not fun. No, that's not fun at all. Now they'll play a Plains. Oh, no, okay. Oh. Maybe it's not the deck I thought it was? Kind of hate it, but I think I'm going to drop Collector's Cage. Oh, that doesn't count? Huh. Oh yeah, it's whenever you cast a creature spell. That's unfortunate. They don't have anything in hand? Interesting. Okay. Not what I was expecting. Yeah, that is annoying, but nothing you can really do about it. No, that works. Would have preferred not to have lost that, but... Oh, come on. Rude. Land. Another fear. Great. Yeah, I know. I probably shouldn't have attacked, but I wanted the toy. So you can play that. Yeah, play that, take back that, deal 2 more damage. It doesn't, I mean, it really doesn't matter, sadly. Because they have 2 flyers that you can't do anything against, so just... Still, not a bad match. Yeah, losing both of the matches isn't great, but I can clearly see at least what the deck is supposed to be doing, and I like it. I like what it's supposed to be doing. I can see it. It's just the first match, control is always hard to deal with, especially if you're doing a more aggressive deck, and then that one, that's a very, very common deck nowadays. The only thing that they were missing was running some planes, and then that pixie card that when it plays you send something back to your hand. That's the only thing they were missing. But yeah, can be very difficult to deal with. So yeah, just unfortunate matchups. Either way, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up there. So if you happen to enjoy the episode, which I do still hope that you did, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you do happen to be new to the channel, hello, welcome, and please do consider subscribing. And to stay up to date for whenever new content is released, don't forget to hit that bell icon after you subscribe. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all next time.